The Fancy Product Designer can be used to create and sell all kinds of customizable products. The colors of a product can be changed. Custom images can be added from the local device, from Facebook and Instagram. Text can be edited. As well as custom text added. Designs can be added from different predefined categories. To create a new fancy product, we go to the Fancy Product Designer. There we click Add New and enter a title for our product. In my case, that is Company Shirt. Click OK and the product is added. Now let's assign a thumbnail to that product. Click on the thumbnail and choose the image you want. Click Select and thumbnail is added. Next we need to add a view to that product, so click Add View and enter a title for the view. In my case that is front, and I will use it to display the front of the shirt. Click OK and choose a thumbnail for that view. Select and the view is added. Now we'll need to add elements to that view. To do that, we go to the Product Builder. The Product Builder consists of a view selector, where you select the view you want to work on, and a layer panel, where you can add new layers or select already existing layers. The next panel is the Element Options panel, where you can set up options for the layers, and all the way at the bottom is a preview of the product stage. For my company shirt, I will first need to add a few image layers. The first one that I need is the front shadow, which is this image. Click Set and the image is added and loaded on the stage. The next image I need is the front base. Select the image you need, click Set and it's loaded on the stage. And the last image I need is the front body. Click OK, select the image and it's loaded. Now as you can see at the moment, the layer order is wrong, so what I can do is I can pick up this layer and drop it down into place where it needs to be. And now all that's left to do is position this. Here is a preview of what it looks like now on the front end. Now I would like to add a second view to my product. So I go back to the Fancy Product Manager and add a second view, which is for the back of my shirt. I select the correct image and the view is added. To add elements to that view, I can go directly to that layer in the Product Builder by clicking the layers icon in that view. The back view will again contain 3 image layers. Here's a preview of what it looks like on the front end with two views. Down here I can now select the back or the front view. Let's say I'd like to change the color of the shirt. To do that, I go back to the product builder and select the base layer. In the colors tab, I can now select a different current color to change the color of the shirt. If I want the customers to be able to select any color they want themselves, I need to add one color into the available colors. The customer can now use the color picker to change the color of the shirt to any value they would like. As you can see at the moment, the back view of the shirt is still white, even though the front view is green. To change that, we go back to the colors tab and enable a color link group by entering a value into the color link group field. We save the layer and go to the back view. There we also select the base layer, go to the colors tab and enter the same color link value. And now when we change the color of the front, the back will have the same color. And if the customer changes the color on the back, the color of the front side will also change to that. If I want the customer to be able to choose between a predefined range of colors, I go back to the front, base layer, colors, and enter multiple values into the available color field. Now you can choose between the colors you entered into the available colors on the back end. Now I would like my company shirt to have a logo and an employee's name on the front. To do that, I go back to the front view and add an image layer for the company logo. Now I'll resize it and position it where I want it to be. Next I will add the employee's name. And again drag it into position and resize it. I would like both the logo and the employee's name to be printed in the same color, and I'd also like to offer a selection of colors for both elements. So what I'll do is enter my selection of colors and establish a color link between the two elements. In order to be able to change the employee's name on the front end, we need to make the employee's name editable. Now the customer can change all the colors of the shirt and the employee's name on. The fancy product category, and we go to the fancy product manager and click add new in the category panel. Now we enter a name for that category and click OK. Now we can assign products to that category by selecting the product and then marking this checkbox. One product can be assigned to multiple categories. To integrate a fancy product into a WooCommerce product page, we go to Products and either select the product page we want or add a new one. Then we go to the Fancy Product Designer panel and select the product we want. You can also choose multiple products or select a product category, in which case the change product feature will be enabled. The change product feature allows to display several different products in the same product designer. To integrate the Fancy Product Designer into a post or page, we go to that post or page and enter two shortcodes. The first one is FPD, which will display the Fancy Product Designer, and the second one is a simple form that will allow the customer to send his customized product to the page owner. Then we go to the Fancy Product Designer panel and select the category or the products we want. With the UI and Layout Composer, you can set up the layout and UI options for the Fancy Product Designer. You can have different layouts for different applications or different products. In the preview, you can see what the designer will look like on the front end and test the functionality. In the Layout tab, you can select the position of the main bar. With the top bar setting, images and texts are added via a pop-up. If you are using the sidebar, images and texts are added within the sidebar without a pop-up. For the sidebar, you can also select where the tabs are positioned. In the Layout tab, you can also choose where the view selection is displayed. In the Modules tab, I can select which modules I want available. If, for example, I want to disable the image module, I double-click it and it will be removed. To add it back, I simply pick it up and drag it into the drop zone. In the Actions tab, I can select which actions are available and where they are positioned. In the Colors tab, you can select the colors of the product designer. In the Custom CSS tab, I can add custom code to modify elements of the Fancy Product Designer or elements on the page where the designer is being loaded. In the settings, you can select how you want the product designer to open. You can have it open on the page, which is like this. You can open it in a lightbox, which looks like this, or you can open it in the page after the user clicks the Customize button. You can also choose from several different positions for the main bar. You can position the main bar via a shortcode, position it after the product title, which for example looks like this, or after the product excerpt. Under the WooCommerce tab, you can select several different positions for your product design. You can have it replace the product image, you can position it after the title, you can position it after the summary, or you can position it with a custom hook. Under the Labels tab, all the labels of the plugin can be translated. The plugin is also fully compatible with WPML for translation. Now I'd like my customers to be able to choose between a few different logos. To do that, I will set up a fancy design category. The name will be logos. Now I'll choose a thumbnail for that category and click Add New Design Category, and the category is added. Now I will add elements to that category by going to Fancy Designs and selecting the Logos category. Then I'll click Add Designs and begin selecting the logos I want to add. Click Select and Save Changes, and the logos are added to the category. It's possible to set up separate options for every single design, or to set up options that apply to all the designs in the category. Now the customer can choose between the different logos that I've added to the category. If you have multiple design categories, you can limit which categories show up on your product in the individual product settings by selecting the categories you want to display for that product. Orders that were made via a fancy product designer embedded on a page or post can be viewed via the order viewer under the fancy product designer menu. Orders that were made via WooCommerce can be viewed under WooCommerce Orders. To view an order, you have to first click Load in Order Viewer. Now you can take a look at the order. Via the Layer Manager, you can select layers, modify them, change their position, as well as disable them for export. With the normal export function, you can export everything you see in the order viewer, either as a PDF file or as an image file. You can also select whether you want to export all views or only the currently shown views. Using the single element export, I can select different elements and export them separately from all others, either in PNG, JPEG or SVG. I can also export the image the customer added in its original size, so without scaling, and I can also export it without clipping of a bounding box.